Well, so I think most of you guys we have been talked in the prior session, right? Raki, Roja, I think Lavanya, Kranti, yeah. So, yep. So, well, guys, in the prior session, we have been discussed what exactly is a data warehouse, what are all the different ETL tools and reporting tools, and how Tableau is quite different with the business intelligence tools. Okay.
Excuse me, sorry to interrupt you. This is Manisha. This is my first session.
Yep, Manisha.
Okay.
Yep, in the prior session, we just had a theoretical discussion. Yeah, Manisha and Bishwa is also new. So for you guys, let me introduce myself. This is Raj. I hold around 12 plus years of experience completely into business intelligence tools. I mean, last 3 years been associated with Tableau, involved in the entire implementation of Tableau projects. So in last session, we just had a theoretical discussion. So what is data warehouse, ETL tools, reporting tools and stuff. Today was the first technical session. Okay, so as you know, we have different components in Tableau. So we have total 5 different components in Tableau. The first one is Tableau Desktop. So Tableau Desktop is mainly used for modeling and reporting. We also have Tableau Server, which is a web-based one. Tableau Online. Reader, Tableau Public. Okay, so these are all the different components of Tableau. So in the today's session, let us discuss detailedly about the basic naming conventions and a simple technical topic. Let us discuss up. Okay, so I'll just wrap up for a couple of minutes regarding the previous session. So because Bishwa and Manisha was their first session. So in the prior session, we just discussed about the components, these 5 components, and how Tableau is quite different with other business intelligence tools. So Tableau basically how it is different means the first one, it is an in-memory tool. So means Tableau, it will hit the source and it will get the data and it will store in the RAM. From RAM, it will calculate all the calculations and everything. So that was the reason it is very faster, and we can also do the visualizations, changing, drill down and drill up everything in the in-memory itself. So that is what a big advantage. And performance-wise, it is better when compared to other business intelligence tool. So why it is performance-wise, it is better means because Tableau is having separate connectors. Let's say if I want to connect to a database, I have a separate SQL connector. If I want to connect to a big sources, I have a fast data engine connectors. I have different connectors, whereas other reporting tools don't have that connectors. So that is where it is advantage, and it is completely user friendly. So and when compared to other tools, it is more user friendly, where user can do most of the calculations here itself. Predefined calculations more we have. Cost effective, cost wise when compared to other tools, it is very cheaper. Less than 50% of the cost what if I invest in another tool, it would be less than 50% for a span of 10 years if I have 10 different reports. So this is how it is quite different with these are the major 4 advantages when compared to other business intelligence tool. So that is the reason Tableau is standing in the first position. And coming to the Tableau components, Tableau Desktop, so which is very important. So was the size okay, or you want me to increase the size? Okay, so Tableau Desktop is mainly used for modeling and reporting purpose. We do each and every business intelligence tool. We have to do modeling, then reporting. So here we do modeling and reporting in the Tableau desktop. And this is mainly Tableau desktop is a window-based tool. Window-based tool means which would be available in the window. I'll show you how we have to open and everything. And here you know that we have two types of licenses, personal and professional. So personal is $999 and professional is $1,999, which supports everything professional. So we are going to work with the professional only. Okay, so this is what something about Tableau desktop and Tableau server. So two roles, like developer and architect roles would be more with the Tableau desktop. Their role would be more with that. So Tableau server, again, it is a web-based component, because after development was done, then we'll be publishing that dashboard into Tableau server. So it is a web-based component, and mainly which is used to share reports to others, share reports to users and manage users. And to manage users, we use Tableau server. Okay, so these are the main things, why we go with the Tableau desktop and servers. In the organization, each and every organization, they go with these two, desktop and server. And we have online, which is, again, these two are 14 days trial version. Tableau desktop and Tableau server was 14 days trial version. We can use it up. After that, we should have a license. And Tableau online, it is also a paid component. If I have my data in cloud, so then I'll use Tableau online to generate reports. Tableau Reader is free. It acts as a desktop, but very limited options. It is Tableau online. Tableau Public is a free component. So Tableau Reader and Tableau Public both are free components. Okay, both are free components where we use, with the limited options, we'll have that. Okay, so these are something about the components of Tableau: Tableau desktop, Tableau server, Tableau online, Reader and Public. So going forward sessions, we'll be working with these two, Tableau desktop and Tableau server. So now let us discuss the basic naming conventions in a Tableau desktop. Naming conventions of Tableau. You know that it is just a reporting tool, so it will not hold any data. So as I said, Tableau desktop is a window-based tool, right? So obviously it would be available in the window. So you need to just go here and start. You can see Tableau. Latest version is 10 version. So you can see Tableau 10.1. It is a window-based, means which would be available in the window. So that is the reason. Just let me click on the Tableau desktop. If you click on the Tableau desktop, this will get open. Tableau desktop will get open. So we need to use a data source to generate reports. Basically, it is just a reporting tool. It will not hold any data. So we need to connect to a data source and we need to get the data done. So let us use this sample superstore as of now. Okay, so by default with the installation we'll get this sample superstore data source. So let me click on the sample superstore. So after clicking on sample superstore, you can see this is what Tableau desktop window where we generate reports.
What kind of a data source is this?
It is just normal Excel.
Okay.
It is just Excel. By default with Tableau installation we'll get this source. Yeah. So this is what Tableau desktop window here. So basically here Tableau desktop window has been segregated into two parts. So one is data window and work area. So data window, you can see here in the data window, this part, this highlighted part was a data window. Let me take a print screen. So here this part is a data window. Yeah, this part was a data window up to below. So this is what a data window, and this is what a work area. From the pages you can see the other part was segregated into work area, data window and work area. In the data window you can again see two tabs, data and analytics, so that we'll discuss later on. And in the data window first you can see the data source symbol, data source symbol, sample superstore, sample superstore. So let me show you. Here you can see sample superstore in the data window. This part, this highlighted white part was data window. In the data window you can see four sub windows: dimension window, measure window, and you can see sets window and parameters window. In here you have four different sub windows: dimension window, measure window, sets window, and parameters window, the data window. And you can see we have data source. You can see the name of the data source available here. So basically here the data source is referred as data set. Data source is referred, okay, referred as data subset. Data set. So basically in each and every data source, you know that we'll have tables. In the tables we'll have columns as well as. Basically this is a folder. Let us assume this customer is a table, order is a table, location, product. So these are all different tables. Let us assume that this is actually a folder, but here the tables are referred as data subsets. So tables, basically they are referred as data subset. Data subsets. So in the tables we'll have columns, different columns. You can see customer name is a column, segment is a column, order date is a column, and you can see country is a column. So but if you notice here, all these columns, like even profit, this is also a column. All these are represented with different symbols. Okay, columns, if you see, these columns are representing with the different symbols. So all these different symbols means that these columns are nothing but data elements. So columns are nothing but data elements. These data elements as data subsets, and columns are referred as data elements. Columns are referred as data elements. So these columns, basically we have 5 different types of data elements, nothing but columns. So the one is textual ABC dimension, and the second one is geographical dimension. Geographical dimension. Third one is date dimension. Date and time dimension. So finally we have a measure value. Measure means a value where we can sum up. Okay, so this is something about all the 5 different data elements: textual ABC dimension, geographical, date and time dimension. Now let me show you what is this textual ABC dimension. So any column or any data element which is encoded with ABC symbol, is a textual ABC dimension. Any column which is represented or encoded with geographical, like globe symbol, so that is what a geographical dimension. So any column which is represented with the calendar symbol, you can see order date, it was with a calendar symbol. So same way you can see ship date. It was calendar along with the clock. I don't know whether it is, yeah, it is not increasing the size, maybe I'll see later. Okay, if you see ship date, it is calendar along with the clock symbol. So this is what a date and time dimension. So order date, it is a calendar symbol, date dimension. Same way, finally you can see a measure value, which is in the green color. So all these are in the blue color and the measures were in the green color, and you can see hash symbol. So whatever columns which is encoded with hash, that is a measure value where we can sum up the values. Okay, so that is what the measure value. So if you see textual ABC dimension, geographical dimension, date dimension, date and time dimension, and finally we have a measure value. So now let us look into the work area, and we have sets and parameters as well, as that we'll discuss later. And coming back to the work area, so in the work area we have 5 different shelves. If you notice here, you can see row shelf, column shelf, page shelf, filter shelf, and marks. Okay, in the work area mainly we have rows, you can see column, and we have pages, we have filters, and we have marks. These are 5 different shelves: row shelf, column shelf, page shelf, filter shelf, and marks. Okay, in marks again we have different stuff: color, size, text, detail, tooltip. Okay, so I'll explain you one by one. So this is something about marks. So same way you can also see here we have an option called show me. This is called as a show me. So now let us generate a simple report here. Let us generate a simple report. We also have show me here, and let us discuss some more naming. So how to generate a simple report? So simply you can use rows and columns and text to generate a report. We need to use rows, columns, either text. We can use that. Let me drag segment into rows. If I drag segment into rows, you can see 3 different segments available: consumer, corporate, home office. So the values you can see. Same way, I just want to know sales of each and every segment. So what we can do is we can just drag the you can drag that and drop it into the columns. You can see after dragging that measure value into columns, okay, you can see segment wise sales is available in the bar chart. So this is how we can do a visualization. We can build it. So same measure value, if you drag that into label, it will show as a text, like tabular format. If you drag that measure value into columns, you can see that shows as a bar chart. So the difference is that as I said, in-memory tool. So most of you guys, I don't know like whether you understood that or not, but let me show you now. If I ask you what is something second or third highest segment means, it will really take some time. It is segment, that's fine, but if I go with something customer name wise or something, it's really toughest task. Or let me go with subcategory. I have subcategory wise. If I ask you third highest subcategory, means it will really take some time to understand. But here in TABLEAU, the advantage is the entire data from the database. If I open a dashboard, it will hit the database, get the entire data into RAM. So from RAM, we can do all the calculations in the fly. Let's say if I click on the bar chart now, say automatically it is converted to the bar. Now if I want third highest one means, so this is what third highest one. Storage subcategory was the third highest one. So visualization, if you see, this is also the same thing, and data was same, but the representation was getting changed. So this is how we can change the representation. So the only advantage here is the entire data was in the fly, in the RAM, so that we can calculate everything in the fly. So that is what the big advantage in the Tableau. So how it can understand the request means with the help of VGQL, visualization query. So if I click on this, automatically the physical request would be taken into the RAM, that VGQL, and it will render data and images. So that is the major advantage. Okay, that is what this in-memory concept. So now I have a visualization. So here the basic namings, let us discuss. All these values are basically called as headers. You can say accessories, appliances, art. These values are called as headers, and the column name is here. It is called as a header label. And this measure values, the selected part, this is what access. So the selected area. So this is what basically called as an access. Most of the time we use access, all these naming conventions. Okay, header label, and same way we have access. So what is header means? Values across dimension. Values across dimension. Same way header label is nothing but column name. Access is nothing but a measurable value or scale, the range of values, measurable values. This is a measurable value. And here you have a button, you can see swap. What it will do, you can also ask me a question, how do we understand whether we want to place this subcategory into either rows or columns? So what happens if I swap these two, rows and columns, means you have button here. Click on the swap, now you can see it is a vertical bar. So again, if you swap it, it will become horizontal as usual. Now where is access? This is what access now. Wherever you see the values with the range, so this is what access. Try to remember, most of our analysis, you should understand all the naming conventions, and we have to speak while gathering the requirement or while working with the development team, you should be strong with the basic naming conventions. Okay, this is what called as an access. Okay, so these are called as a header, and this is what header label, and each and every bar, this is called as a cell. Each and every bar is nothing but it is a cell. Access and cell. Cell is nothing but each and every bar, a single is a cell. So same way, now let us add a title to this report. I want to add a title to this report. I want to add caption to this report, and I also want to add summary to this report. I want to add a title, caption, and summary to the report. Okay, so how to add a title to the report? So basically we are in the worksheet 1. So if you can see here below, where are we means we are in the sheet 1. So if I want to create a new sheet means you need to click on this. Beside you can see another plus symbol. If you click, you will get a new sheet. So let us click on the sheet 1. Now we are in the sheet 1. So if I want to add a title to this particular sheet, nothing but worksheet, straight away go to the worksheet tab here. Here you can see some different tabs: file, data, worksheet, dashboard, story, analysis. Now which is related, I want to add a title to a worksheet. So it is related to worksheet. So go to the worksheet tab, click on worksheet tab, then you can enable this show title. Here already it was there. Okay, so if I uncheck this, you can see that earlier there was a title name, it was hidden. So if you want that, just go to the worksheet tab and enable show title. So if you enable that title, you can see you got the title. So by default it was a sheet 1, and if you want to name something here, how to edit this title, just double click on that. So automatically you can get a pop-up window where you can change it, like sales something report. And if you want to change the color something, you can change the color. And you want to make it center, apply, okay. If you want to increase size also, you can increase the sizes and all this stuff. So now if you see here, the title has been added. Okay, same way I want to add a caption of this report. So just go here, click on this and enable show caption. So what is caption? Caption is nothing but which describes the report dynamically. It is not static, which describes the report dynamically. So you can see now it is just displaying captions, sum of sales for each subcategory. So I'll just do something filter. You'll understand this filtering and other thing later. See, I did some changes in the report. Automatically it is the caption has been changed dynamically. So based on my changes, it is reflecting. Now sum of sales for each subcategory, the view is filtered on subcategory which excludes furnishings. I have excluded furnishing, so that is indicating here clearly telling that in the subcategories furnishing has been excluded. Now I'll exclude phones, so it also includes that. So this is what basically a dynamic caption, not static. And if you want your own customized caption, you can just double click it and you can edit if you don't want that caption. Okay, so this is how you can add a title and we can add a caption. Same way I want to see the summary of the report. Summary means count, sales, average, okay, median, all this information. I just want to view it up in the view. So enable show summary. So if I click on show summary, you can see count is 15. So total I have subcategories 15, out of which sum of sales is this, average was this, minimum is this, maximum is this, median is this. And if I remove filter, you can see the values get changed. Earlier I filtered 2, so that's the reason the count was 15. Now I have to remove that filter. You can see count 17, sum, average, minimum, maximum, median. So this is how you can add a title, caption and summary to your report.
Raj, this is Kanti. Could you just convert this bar chart into a table, please? I want to see how the summary is going to show up.
Sure.
So what if, let's say I need breaks, or I need a subtotal and a total in the table itself? And let's say I have a category and a subcategory, 2 columns, 2 dimensions, and then a measure. I need a break or like a subtotal of a category or so. Like
the same thing. Anything if you drag even the other category.
There is subtotal as well.
Yeah. Anything you'll get it up here. So if you drag the other category, now if you want this sub also, we'll get it up. So just go here and you can add it up. Analysis, the totals. So you want column totals as top, or that add all subtotals. And if you want this grand total in the top, you can also get that in the top. Just go to the analysis. Here in the totals, you get all the options.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yeah. So, this is what, basic naming conventions we were discussing. Okay, so now this is how we can add, okay, so to the analysis. Okay, so now Basically, let us discuss some more naming conventions here. So this white color part is called as a table, and other, let me take a print screen and show you here. Okay, so here the center part, this one is a table. This part is a table. Sorry, this part, white color part, is a table. And if it is a, sorry, table means only this part, not the, I was not able to drag this. Oh, yes. Yeah, this is what table. Okay, if it is a data view means which inclusive of the total title, summary as well as caption. So it is what a data view. The first one is a table, the second one is a data view, and third one is a worksheet. From here it is a worksheet. So this is what with the pages inclusive of the work area part is a this is what worksheet. So the first part is a table. Remember that, guys. Data view is nothing but inclusive of a table, summary, title, summary, caption. So then it is called as a data view. And this entire columns, rows, pages, filters, all this is nothing but a data. This is what worksheet. So table, data view, and worksheet. Table, data view, worksheet. Table, data view, and worksheet. So this is what the basic naming conventions. So now let me just guide you on these points, and let us work with a simple technical topic. So maybe I'll take extra 5 minutes. That's it, not more than that. Okay, so yep. So you can see here we have category, subcategory, different stuff. Let us say I have subcategory wise, I have a sales. Okay, so what happens if I color this? If I want to encode each and every category into different color, so simply what you need to do is drag that subcategory and drop it into the color. So if I drag this subcategory into color, you can see each and every category has been encoded with a different color. And also you can see the label here. If you want to edit the colors, you can edit the colors. You have a provision. Okay, I'm just giving a overview. Going forward, we'll discuss detail in that. So if you want to encode each and every category, subcategory into a color, drag that subcategory and drop it into the color. If you want to remove it, select and drag out of this pane marks. That's it. And what is the sizing? If you want to size subcategory, drag subcategory and drop it into sizing. So what happens? Subcategory into sizing means you can see each and every category that into different sizing. I think I have dragged manufacturer, so that's the reason it got like this. How it is getting sized means it is already assigned it A to Z. For based on each and every value, there was some sizing. If you see in the label, it is clearly indicating A means this is what the width, something C means this is what the width, L means this is what the width, and T means from A to Z it was assigned it. So based on that, it is just encoded with the sizings. If it is a measure value means based on the value it will get encoded. Even you can also drag the measure value. Sizing is mainly used for to encode the sizing based on the value. Length indicates the sales value. Width indicates that sizing. I will discuss more detail in going forward sessions. Labeling is nothing but if I want to label it. Let's say here also you have another option called T. If you just click on this one, you will get values on top of the bars. You can see if you don't want again the values, just click on the T, the symbol. If you want again, just click on the symbol, you will get it if you don't want. Same way, labeling is nothing but the same thing. If I want to see the subcategory names on top of the bars, you can just drag subcategories into label. If you drag measure values, so that will show us the values, or you can also click on this T symbol. Anything is fine. Okay, you can just click on that, or you can use that one. Okay, so this is how you can label it. So detailed means the same way. If you don't want again details, yeah, let's say I have order date here. I want to see here subcategory wise sales is there, right? I want to segregate that detail year wise. So if you drag order date, you can see year wise it is segregated. See, it is 2016, this is 15, 14 and 13. So detail it has been segregated. That is what detail. So tooltip is nothing but the same thing. If I move here, you can see a cursor, a pop-up window. That is what tooltip. Wherever you move, that related information you can see in the tooltip. So that is what this tooltip. You can just click it and you can enable and you can change it however you want. So this in detail we will discuss it in the going forward sessions. And here you can see automatic. If we change that, it will convert to the different charts. By default, based on the columns, it will come up with an automatic bars, but we can change it up if required. Okay, so these are all some basic naming conventions. I just want to share you in the today's session because basic naming conventions are important. So now let us work with a simple technical topic. Okay, so let us work with a topic called working with measure values, working with measures. So basically in TABLEAU we can work with measures in three different ways. The first one is individual access. Second one is dual access, and third one is blended access and dual access. So what is basically an individual access? So individual access is nothing but each and every bar will have individually a separate marks. Let me show you, you will get an idea. Each and every measure will have a separate access. Each and every measure means a value where we can sum up, will have separate access. Same way, each and every access will have separate mark. Okay, each and every access will have separate mark. So what is this? Let us see. What is this individual access and why? What is this difference? So let me click on a new sheet now. Now let me just go ahead with let me click on the category and let me click on the double click on the sales. So I have category wise sales. Now here if you understand, I have one measure value. So how many access I have? Only one access. What happens if I drag another measure value? I am trying to drag profit beside the sales. So how many measures I have? Two measures I have. So how many access I have? Two access I have. How many marks I have? Two marks automatically. So let me remove profit. You can see if you observe here, I have only one measure value, only one access. If I have only one access here, I have only one marks. But if I drag profit, if you see, if I drag profit, automatically you can see two measures, two access. For sales I have a separate access, for profit also I have separate access. Same way automatically I have two different marks. For sales you can see, and for profit you can see. This is what sales mark and this is what profit marks. So what is the advantage? Let's say if I drag another something quantity here, 3 different measures, so 3 different axes and same 3 different marks. So what I can do if I have 3 different axes means, so let's say in the sales I have all color, size, label, detail, tooltip. So what I can do, category I can drag and drop it into the color in the sales. Only the color, this will get colored because in the sales marks I have done coloring. Profit, in the profit marks category I'll size it. So now the second one will get sized. Quantity, third one, right? I can make that as a label, something to just get understand for the purpose. If I drag that into the label, third one, you can see the labeling. Okay, so the reason here, if you understand 3 different measure values, 3 different axes and 3 different marks, that is what individual axes. So that is what here I have written. So each and every measure will have separate axes. So it is true, right? I have 3 different measures, 3 different axes. This is what one axis, this is what one, and this is what one. So each and every measure will have separate axes. So the second line is each and every axis will have a separate marks. See, for sales there is a separate mark sales, all color, size, label, detail separate, and for profit I have a separate marks, and for quantity I have a separate. So this is what individual axis we will call as. Same thing we can also call as, let me swap this, now it will become vertical bars, right? If I swap rows and columns, so you can see now I can also change the visualizations. So sales I can change this to line chart. Okay, same way profit I can change that into something circles. Okay, and this I can make it in the bar charts. It is a kind of combinational chart. Individual axis is also nothing but combinational chart. So I have 3 different axes, that's the reason I can change into 3 different charts. But whereas if I don't have these marks differently, I cannot make it up done. Okay, so this is what individual axis. So each and every measure will have a separate axis. Each and every axis will have a separate marks. So will it support multiple measures means? Yes, it supports multiple measures as well as. So same way, what is this blended axis? What was the meaning of blending? Blending is nothing but mixing. Okay, so blending is nothing but mixing. So mixing. So what is this mixing? So blended axis means nothing but mixing. Let me just show you the same thing to understand. Category. Or anything, let me use segment. Segment wise, I have sales, I have a profit. Now what is my requirement here is, I don't want to see one after the other. I want to compare sales and profit for segment. Okay, I don't want to see one after another. I just want to see it side by side. So how to achieve that? So if I want to see it side by side, I need to blend the measures. So how to blend the measures means, simply what we need to do is drag second or next measures, second or next measures into axis. Drag second or next measures into axis so that it would be automatically mix up. Second or next into axis. So select profit, drag and drop it into axis. Where is axis? So this is what axis, right? So now drop it on the axis. See what happened. Now it is side by side. Profit and sales, profit and sales, profit and side by side. So, and the same logic. How many measure values we have? Only one. How many axes I have? Only one axis. How many marks I have? Only one. See what happened if I drag another measure and drop it into the axis? It is blended, mixed up, and the result was measure value. In that again it is segregated here detail, sales and profit. And you can see measure names. What is that measure names? This text, profit and sales. And measure values means these bars, the values you can see below. Now it is profit and sales, right? First, let's say I want to see sales, then profit. Then you just move it up here. That's it. Now you can see sales, then profit. So what happens if I want to color sales in one color and profit in another color? So simply you have a measure names, click on control button, drag measure names into the color. You need to use control button. If not, this will be dragged out and the analysis will go wrong. So click on control button, then drag and drop measure names into color. You can see profit was in color, sales was in another color. This is what blended access. Blended access is nothing but mixing up measures. Will it support multiple measures? Means yes, it will support multiple measures. You can drag the third measure, you can see. So it supports multiple measures. Now you can see quantity also has been added. So the same way, blended access means supports multiple measures, yes. And here you can see measure names and measure values will be available. Measure values means the bars, like you can also have 2-3 measures and you can organize it. That is what is blended access. Blended access. The same thing you can also we can also work in a similar way. We have another second option. So I have a segment, I have a sales, I have a profit, okay. So let me have a quantity as well as I have quantity as well. So again I brought the sales. I'm just using touch, so yeah, some quantity. So simply in the show me we have an option called side by side bars. Okay, if you no need to drag into the measure value, you can just right away use this side by side bars. So click on the side by side bars, you can see automatically it is a blended access. It is vertical, right? So you want to make it horizontal means just swap it. That's it. If you swap it now, it is a vertical. The same thing by just using this clicking on side by side bars. By just clicking on the side by side bars, you can also achieve the same thing. Like we have two methods. So the second one is in show me. Click on side by side bars. Side by side bars. So this is what blended access. And finally we have dual access. So what is dual? The meaning of dual itself you can understand two measure values. Only we can analyze with two measure values. So let's say I have a segment again. Let me drag a segment. Oh, I drag. Okay, anything is fine. Ship mode. I have a ship mode. Now I just want to analyze sales and profit. Now the sales. Oh. Okay, so let me just swap it. So how to make this dual access means always you need to drag the second measure. And dual means only we'll have two. Thus drag second measure opposite to the axis. Drag a second measure opposite to the axis. So basically where is the axis here? This is what axis. The scale you need to understand. The range, this is what basically called as an axis. So let us drag opposite to the axis. Where is opposite? So this is what opposite. So now you can drag that opposite to the axis. So now you can see one side it is profit, the other side it is sales. One side it is profit, so other side it is okay. I have dragged profit ratio, or let us also go with the profit. Yeah. So now if you see here the difference, one side it is sales, the other side it is profit. So but you need to understand the values here in the dual axis. The dual axis, if you see here, the sales, let us compare this value. It is something 1582, and here, and the other value is let me see, this value is clear. It is something 3,51,428, and here it is 48,000. If we see 48,000 is on top of that, and this is below, because what happening here is one side the axis it started at 1 lakh, the other side it is 20,000. So both the scales are not same. So that's the reason you can see it is something close to 3.5 lakh was here, and it is only just 48,000, but it is on top of 3.5 lakh, which is not correct for the analysis. So if you want to go with the dual axis, drag that into opposite to the axis. You can compare both, like first, say second, same day or something. There are some values you can just compare it wherever you want, or you can also expand something like this. Oh. You can just expand this. Yeah. No. So to make both the scales synchronize, okay, so what we need to do is select any of the axes, right click, so then you have an option called synchronize axis. So synchronizing axis is nothing but making both the scales the same. Now you can see it is very clear. It started at 0, 100, 200, 300, 400. Now this is what dual axis. Now you can easily see 48,000 and something. This is 15,000, 57, and this is 1,28,000. So it is clearly defined here. So always in the dual axis, we need to synchronize the scales. It is very important thing to synchronize scales. Right click and just synchronize it. That's it. So now we have synchronized it, and as you know, we have two measure values, two different axes. Two different axes means I'll have two different marks. So let me just make sales in rather than that, I'll make it as a line chart. Okay, and profit, I'll make that as a bars. For easy analysis purpose. However you want, you can change it up, because two measures, two axes, so automatically you can make it up in the 2 marks. You can change it. So this is what basically a dual axis. Will it support multiple measures? Means no, only two measures. So the same thing we can do in dual combination. In show me, click on dual combination. To achieve the same chart, we have to use dual combination. So simple, same thing, you can just click it up. Let's say drag order date. I have sales, I have a profit. Okay, so click on dual combination. That's it. So here you can see dual combination. Automatically we got that, but the scales are not same. So just make scale synchronize. Select, right click and enable synchronize axis. So now you can see the scales has been synchronized. So this is what a dual axis. So in dual axis, a blended axis and a dual axis. So was this clear, guys? And this entire analysis I can save as TWB. Save as, or save, you can click on save as anything. The desktop, I can save this as TWB. TWB stands for Tableau Workbook. So it will be saved with the name Book 1. You can see it was saved with the Book 1. So now if I close even this analysis, and I can open it up. So all the analysis will remain the same. So TWB stands for TABLEAU Workbook. Okay, so this is something about the basic naming conventions, and we have worked with a simple technical topic called working with connections. So in the next session, so we'll work with a very important topic called working with connections. So connections means how to connect to a different sources. And I know here in TABLEAU we have live connection and extracted connection. So the detail, how to connect to a source from the TABLEAU desktop to the different sources, and we can work on that. You can see if I click it here, you can see different sources, all the different types of databases you can find here. Okay, so was this clear, guys? Any questions? You can ask me your questions. Was it confused? Am I going a little bit fast? Any questions?
Excuse me, how long this